What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. A lot has changed on the CRV since I made my last video when I first got it running. I've kind of transitioned over to doing more short form videos, so I've been posting more of the shorts on here on YouTube, as well as like my Instagram, which is Honda Resource, and I've started back up posting on my TikTok, which is also Honda Resource. So check those out too if you care to keep up with me. I definitely post more shorts now than I do this full length content. So I guess we'll just get into it. I got the CRV running as you saw in the last video, and then we went and had it tuned at Jason Waters Tuning. I'll post some of that clip here. Guys, we just made over to the dyno. We just got it strapped down. Took the drive shaft out so that we can dyno it. Just do it in front wheel drive. Once it's done, we'll put the drive shaft back in and it'll be all wheel drive. So after we got it tuned, I mean, she's been pretty solid. We did take it up to Classic Hondas on the Dragon. That was a great time. I didn't really film any full-length content there at all. I did a couple of shorts. I guess I could throw maybe a little bit of that in here. We're out here at the Classic Hondas on the Dragon meet at William Blount High School. So many Hondas. But overall, the Classic Hondas on the Dragon, it was a great trip. The Classic Hondas on the Dragon is what inspired me to buy the CRV and make it into what it is currently. Because in the years past, I've taken the Yeater, my lifted CRV that I sold back in January, and it just wasn't as enjoyable to drive on those curvy roads as I knew, something like this could be, and it was absolutely a blast. If you've never been to Classic Hondas on the Dragon, it's a meet in Maryville, Tennessee. It's usually the first weekend of October, but next year, October of 2026, it'll be the second weekend of October. So it's a great time. It's very chill vibes, and just a bunch of older Hondas, and they have a little meet there at a high school, and then they go out and drive this mountain road. It's called Tail of the Dragon. If you've never heard of it, check it out. It's like 11 miles and there's like 318 curves, and it's fun, Anyways, we're back here in the house shop today, as you could probably tell. I guess I can kind of update you on the CRV. As you could tell, there's a lot more put together now than it was in that last clip on the last video. In addition to putting them together, I also had the bumpers and the side trim paint matched like the SE model. So I see a lot of people that do paint the bumpers, but they wind up painting like all this fender trim and the lower part of the bumper there. I like the factory OE look. This is how the special editions were painted. So also we got the Euro R style grill in there. These are discontinued. It's imported from Kazakhstan. I got that painted and on there, and then I just bought a little cheap Type R style emblem, put it on there, good to go. Also refinished all of my fender trims. I've got a video on how to do that. I'll put it up here at the top. It's not this CRV, it's the old CRV. Also had the side mirrors repainted. Those turned out really nice. And really maybe it on the CRV itself. But you can see there the rear bumper, it came out pretty good. So pretty happy with that. Also, I had it detailed. So the interior is super, super clean now. I've still got to put my element armrest back on there, or element armrest back on here. I took the one that was in here and I sold it. So if you've ever seen those element armrests, they're pretty sweet. I'll put a video to that up there. But yeah, I like the element armrest. Just got to put it back in here. But the interiors came out really nice. And then I don't know if I mentioned it before on the other clip or not, but my when I first started up, the speedometer and the tachometer were not working for the factory cluster, and I was told that they couldn't work. Well, I didn't know until after the fact that they couldn't work. So I went ahead and I bought a Haltech IC7 digital dash, and then while that was coming in, I got the tachometer and the speedometer working. Right. Anyway, I went ahead and put the I put the IC7 in here. I had an EM1 cluster in here, but I do have a EK hatch that needs a cluster, so I'm going to put the EM1 cluster in here. But see right here when I fire it up. There we go. It's got the Honda Resource logo in there. I think that's pretty sweet. I actually put that in there myself with a little Photoshop and some trickery there. But yeah, it turned out really nice. Everything works in here. Cold start, baby. This is fully customizable, so I've kind of, put all this stuff on here that I want to see, and so far it's worked out pretty well. I need to do a little calibrating on the speed, because it displays a few miles slower than I'm actually going 1 through 4, and then in 5th gear it gets off pretty heavy. So I think in 5th gear it gets closer to like 10 miles an hour off. So I'm actually going, like, say if it's displaying 80, I'm actually going 90. So I need to get that addressed. But also I kind of would like to put a piece of trim or some kind of something in here to kind of camouflage all that down in there. But overall it came out pretty good. I got the piece in here 3D printed, so it bolts in as a factory cluster, and then the IC7 just bolts right into it. I did get the AC working, so AC works, blows nice and cold. One thing about how I do my swaps is I like everything to function as it came from the factory. So this CRV, while having a J series in it, it also has functioning air conditioning, it has power steering, it has cruise control, and it has heat. So that was super nice on the trip, being able to just lock in on cruise control, got the AC going, and you hit a hill or something, an incline, and it just keeps steady at the same speed. Doesn't really have to gain a lot of throttle to maintain that speed. So here under the hood is got a little bit more done under here too. So I had this intake fabricated at Go Auto Works. He's fairly local to me, about an hour away. So I drove down there and he whipped this up in literally like 20 minutes, he's done. Also up here I added LED lights. So I put a little switch up under my core support right here. It just clicks. But they work out pretty good. I mean, it's really sweet for like a at night meet or something like that. Or say if you do run into engine troubles and you're on the side of the road at night and you need to be able to see, you can flip that on. And these work really good in the dark. It's just some LED strips. There's one on the bottom side of my hood right here. And then the other one is just on the basically the leading edge of this core support facing that way. Anyways, I will post a link to the lights in the description if you're interested in picking up some of these lights. They work really good. It's really simple wiring on them. And things though to address on here that occurred while we were out. Well, not necessarily just while we were out, but on the way to Dragon, my CV axle boot right here busted. You can see we've got some grease. So I've got a new boot for that. Also, a while back, when I got these wheels, I had them powder coated. They're supposed to be mag blue. Now you can see they do have a blue tint to them, but to the unsuspecting eye, one would think they're black. So once you get it out in the light, if it's just in the right sunlight, you can really see some of the blue. You can kind of, the camera probably shows more blue than they actually appear in person. So I'm gonna have these repowder coated. I'm not happy with the color of them. Also, I have got a new side decal from Greg Rawls for the lower here that we're gonna put on. And I got all new hardware for all these bolts because the bolts on these are kind of rusty and just not the best look for this vehicle. And also, while we're doing this, we're gonna get the calipers powder coated, front and rear. So you see I have Acura RL brakes on here. I've got a video for doing the Acura RL brakes too, if you're interested in those. I don't know if we'll put it up here or if we'll put it down here. I'll put a link for that though. And then also, while I had it in the shop, I did the rear disc brakes on it. So these calipers are getting repowder coated, or getting powder coated as well. They're not currently powder coated. We will get those powder coated also. And I now sell the rear disc conversion brackets with all the necessary hardware that you'll need to bolt those brackets onto your hub. Check out that link in the description for the disc conversion brackets. I've been selling them pretty frequently here as of recent. They sell out pretty quick because I include the hardware with them, and they are yellow zinc plated hardware, and they look really nice. I'll put a picture of them here on the screen so you can kind of see how they look on my CRV when I was installing them. Anywho, I need to get this thing jacked up and get these wheels off of it because, like I said, I'm going to have those wheels powder coated, the calipers powder coated, and all this other stuff. We got to fix that CV axle and whatnot. And I really don't want to do this down at my shop. I know we're in a shop, but the shop like my business, because I don't want to take up the space. And here in the at-home shop, I don't use it for anything down here anymore. I don't even have a lift in here anymore. The lift is at my business shop. So I got jack stands, and we're gonna jack it up and put it on jack stands. Brought my mobile van home so that we'll have some tools, because I don't even have tools here. I got a little small toolbox there, but it doesn't have anything in it, really. I mean, look. Oh, there's like 3 wrenches and a screwdriver and a hammer and a hacksaw. Nothing in there. But here's my mobile van. Got another toolbox here that does have tools in it. At one time, before I had my shop, I was running mobile repair out of this van. I actually had 2 of these vans at one time, and that toolbox was the toolbox in the other van. I've already sold the other van because I don't really do any mobile repair anymore. But see, we've got some Milwaukee stuff and sockets, wrenches. This thing's not very well organized anymore. It used to be very well organized because I used it every day, and now I don't. See, I mean, we got pliers and socket drawer here and all kinds of mess. But this thing had onboard air, but the hose reel there is leaking. I've got a jack in here. There's some jack stands, and I have more jack stands still currently at the house. So we're gonna get this thing jacked up. So now that we got the wheels off, I'm gonna go ahead and take the air out of them. To take the faces off of them, I don't necessarily need to demount the tires. I just have to deflate them, and then we can just remove the faces while leaving the tires mounted to the barrels. So let's get started. To get these demounted, you see all those Allen head bolts there. They come through to the back side and have nuts all the way around. See, they made in Japland. So let's get to it. So now I got the wheels all broken down, got the faces off of them. I still got to get the center caps out of them before I send them off to be powder coated again. But we got this pretty much apart. I still have to take these calipers off and whatnot, but I need to get some valve stems from my shop, because you could take the banjo bolt out and put a valve stem through the banjo hole, and it'll keep it from leaking out all your brake fluid. But I forgot to bring some home with me. I'll get those on Monday. Today is Saturday. I'll get those on Monday and get those calipers off and get it rest of the way apart. Be able to fix this axle too. I brought home my tool to do the band clamps on the CV axle. This little guy. But I left the doggone new boot and the bands at the other shop. And it's like 35 minutes from my house, so no go on that today. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of a stopping point for right now. I guess on the next video, we'll catch up doing some reassembly on this thing. And I guess in the meantime, if you care to follow along or see sneak peeks of actually what's going on as I'm doing it, check out the Instagram Honda Resource, because I definitely post way more on there as far as the shorts and whatnot. It's just so simple, you know. I do post some of the shorts here to YouTube and TikTok as well, but the Instagram gets all of them. So make sure you check out the TikTok and Instagram, and we'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.